how did you come to the conclusion, or I guess the better word is realization, for this desire or need to travel so much? Was it the 9 to 5 that just you just felt like you needed to jump out of your skin the whole time, or what was it specifically about? Because most people when they do this, they're like, I don't know, whatever. Think name anything, right? We're gonna go to Rome for a week and a half. It's different to be like, I'm going to Africa for a month and a half. Like that's a different, or Thailand, right? What made you want to do that?
Funny enough, actually, even the 9 to 5, like I said, I'm a very silver lining girly. I found ways to love that. I did. In the moment, I was like, this is great. As far as a 9 to 5, I had it made. I only had to go into the office once a week, even though it was 9 to 5. So I was working from my apartment the other 4 days, but I couldn't actually leave the state. Didn't love that. But it wasn't really it's partially what spurred it because I had always, the the real answer to your question is I grew up a little bit in Prague when I was very young. My parents, like 1 or 2 years old, I was on a plane. So it's part of my nature. I went back to Italy for my 16th birthday when we were like 12 or 13. I think we went to Italy and all over Europe. Like, just we've been traveling with my family my entire life. So travel is very comfy for me. It's not like scary or challenging. I definitely had never traveled to another country by myself before, so that was big for me this time. But I've always just really felt at home traveling. There's so much to learn, there's so much of the world to see. You only get to be here 100 years, Like, why stay in the same spot and not learn about other cultures and other people and see other perspectives, and just broaden your horizons. And I think that if you want to badly enough, you can. Like, I've seen people do it on all spectrums, from all backgrounds, with all income levels. So for me, it's just really important. And it's also different for different people. Some people really need and love the structure of staying in one place and having the 9 to 5, and that is okay. I don't. So for me, yeah, I just was always kind of traveled a lot. The year before my 9 to 5, I had a boyfriend and his family traveled a lot. So we were in Alaska and Mexico, and he and I was like, I want to start a travel blog. So we went to like a different place every weekend, to the point where I was stressing us both out because I was like, we needed to be on the road constantly. And this and that. So we just did a ton of traveling. And so then when I all of a sudden stopped, like full halt, it's not like really full halt. I was traveling back and forth. I took my dog on a plane. I don't know how many times. So it's not like I really fully ever stopped traveling, but I went to like Seattle and then LA, and then like, I don't know. I think I did a like couple Airbnb trips like locally. Like, I still found a way to make it happen, but it was just not as like Thailand, not coming back. So I, during that year, yeah, was like, I miss that. That's a huge part of who I am. I don't like not being able to do that. What other options can I do to make this a thing? And so, yeah, it just has worked out. I didn't plan on being in South Africa. My business partner lives in South Africa. So that's why I ended up coming over here. And then I had some people that I was working with that were doing content that were like, you should check out Thailand. Didn't even end up seeing them. Not really friends with them anymore. But I went to Thailand, and best decision I've ever made. I love it there. I just love it. The people are wonderful. They're kind. Everything's cheap. The food is good. There's water, like the beach, the sand. I can't rave about it enough. Everybody should go. But yeah, so it's just been a constant part of my life. I've been very blessed with a family that introduced me to traveling very young. The first time I went to Africa, I was in high school. My dad lived in Beijing, so I've been to Beijing. I've been to, gosh, I'm trying to think. I have a couple more continents to hit for sure. I haven't been to Australia. I haven't been, there's places I haven't been, but the point is, it's always been a very normal thing for me, and it's a very important thing that I continue to integrate into my life. So I prioritize it.
That's how it is, right? You have to make it a priority. You have to make it chosen. And it's funny you said earlier the one-way ticket thing. I've told people that for almost 10 years now that they're like, I want to go to Ireland or I want to go here, I want to go there, and they'll throw that out there. And at this point I know the difference between when someone has like a, as Earl Nightingale says, like a willful desire that they're never going to actually do versus something they're actually serious. And I actually always tell people buy a ticket and then there's a little box that says refundable, like uncheck that, make it non-refundable. And if you buy it, it doesn't matter if it's 6 months out, 8 months out, 4 months out. If it's non-refundable, the likelihood of you going is like just 100%. You're gonna go, right? You just spent 1,500 bucks, 1,200, whatever, on that ticket. It's just unless there's like an act of God or natural, a reason for you not to, you're going, right? The worst question for experienced travelers everywhere, but I want to ask it anyway. Do you have a place that is specific to your heart that you missed? That is just every time you land, you're like, I love this. Your favorite travel place.
Italy. Italy, hands down.
Anywhere in Italy in particular?
Just all of it. I just love Italy. I love the food. I love the people, like everything. You can just eat carbs and ice cream all day and lose weight. I don't know what happens. It's just magic. It's just phenomenal. It's the best place in the world. I am convinced. I would definitely live there for a stint or at least enjoy a long stint of time there. Probably not forever, but I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Italy. Hmm.
How'd you make your way to South Africa?
So, as I said, I met my business partner in a online class similar to the one that we sell now, and we just connected, same goals, and I was like, well, I have to come see you, so gonna get on a plane, and here I am.
Nice. That's Africa's the most underrated travel place that I've ever been multiple times.
You know, I haven't done a lot of traveling stuff here. I've just kind of been, and I'm getting a lot of slack for it. But it's because we're so focused on the business that, and it's so much like California that I'm like, what do I have to see? Another beach? I've seen a beach. Like, I would love to go dive with sharks. I'm trying to do that, make that happen. But I'm also like, if I don't, I probably saved a surfer. So,
Yeah, right. That's is a weird. You're like cognitive dissonance, right? Do I swim with sharks? Do I save his leg? Hmm. Yeah. Um, that's funny because when the first time we met, you're like, I might be in West Africa. I'm not necessarily sure. You're kind of the spontaneity that we mentioned earlier seems to be very ingrained in you at the moment.
What's going on, guys? If you like that clip right there, you will love the full interview. You can check that out right there. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, and subscribe because we got a lot of big things coming up in the near future.